Every week, hundreds of people just like you travel to a special place. A place of wonder, excitement, discovery, chills, thrills, and spills. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Odyssey, and it's a town where the adventures never stop. But did you ever wonder just where those adventures come from and how they get made? Well, if you have, then prepare yourself, because for the next few minutes, we're going to take you on a journey to our side of the radio to discover adventures in Odyssey.
Thanks, Whit. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Adventures in Odyssey studios. I'm Chris. That's right, the one who takes you to Odyssey every week. But today, we want to take you to a different place, behind the scenes, so you can see how we put together an adventure in Odyssey. You know, a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into creating an Odyssey episode. Take me, for instance. I may sound bright and cheery, but here's how I really look. Just kidding. This is the real me. That other picture was our executive producer. You know, every week the staff of Adventures in Odyssey does have to deal with a monster of sorts. It's called The Story Idea. And it's where every program begins. The story ideas used on Odyssey are thought up in something called conferences. These are special meetings where our writers, directors, and producers all sit and calmly discuss the stories you hear from week to week. Well, some meetings go better than others. Once the story ideas are hammered out, Paul and Phil, our writer-directors, then go about the task of carefully crafting the script. Once a first draft of the script is complete, it goes to Steve and Chuck, our producers, for review and evaluation. They offer positive, constructive criticism. Then hand the script back to the author for a final touch-up. Meanwhile, a recording session is set up. While this is happening, the scripts are completed and approved, and copies are given to our production engineers, Bob and Dave, for their comments. Finally, the big day arrives. The actors are shown to their proper places in the studio, and the director gives them a brief rundown of the story while they mark their scripts.
Okay, the plot is that Officer Harley comes back into town for a surprise visit and takes Jack for a ride on his motorcycle up to Trickle Lake, where they come across what's supposed to be a deserted road. Only when they explore it, they find a cave with a van parked in front of it and two guys loading boxes into the van, which, of course, Officer Harley feels the need to examine. So he takes off on his motorcycle to see what they're doing and runs into a booby trap that causes the motorcycle to go careening down an embankment, causing the two guys loading the stuff in the van to see them, and one of them to start
A
chasing Jack.
few last-minute adjustments of the microphones, and they're ready to record.
Any questions?
Well, almost ready. Adventures in Odyssey uses some of the finest voice and character actors in the business. Just a partial list of the shows these performers have worked on includes DuckTales, Gummy Bears, The Muppet Babies, Winnie the Pooh, The Andy Griffith Show, War and Remembrance, and the long-running series Davy and Goliath. They're all professionals at their craft. By themselves, they're excellent. But when they get together, something magical happens. After the program passes a final inspection, it goes to our cassette department, where copies are made and sent to stations all over the country, including the one where you live. And once the tapes are shipped, the staff can sit back for a well-deserved rest. For about 5 minutes. Then someone remembers that we have a show to do next week, too.
A show?
And the whole thing starts up again. And that's basically how each adventure in Odyssey is made. As you can probably tell, a lot goes into the making of every adventure in Odyssey. But although no element is more important than the others, one element is definitely more fascinating than the others. That's right, sound effects. See, our programs are just like a TV show. Only the screen is in your imagination instead of in your living room. And sound effects are what make your imagination work. Come on, I'll show you what I mean.
Oh, yeah, Dave? Take this! Oh, yeah? Well, same to you, Bob. Hey, well, you ain't heard nothing yet. Yeah, well, here's a bomb for you, buddy!
Hold it! Hold it!
Oh. Hi, Chris.
This is Dave and Bob, the masters of sound effects, and they're going to help me out today. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Great. I guess the first thing is, Where do you get all the sound effects you use?
Well, we have a couple of different places. The first place we look is in our sound effects library.
It's made up of a lot of compact discs with hundreds of sounds on them. Just about anything you can imagine.
Yeah, like with this collection, I can make a clock tick.
That's easy. How about a door opening?
That's simple, Bob. What about a phone ringing?
That's nothing compared to a baby crying.
Child's play. I can make a whole nursery full of babies crying.
Guys.
Yeah, well, I can create a crowd of people.
Guys.
Yeah, you people won't stand a chance against my cattle stampede, buddy.
Yeah, well, I got a whole army here.
Yeah, well, so do I.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! We already heard the war, remember?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We get carried away sometimes.
What we really want to see is how you use these effects to create a scene for an adventure in Odyssey.
Well, we have something set up that'll show that really well.
Great. What happens first?
Well, first we're going to play a scene dry with no effects on it.
They're known as rough tracks, just the dialogue.
Which scene are you going to play?
One of our most popular shows, the day Independence came.
All right, let's go.
Look up there, above the soldiers.
What?
You see it? That big white-looking thing.
Yes, so?
It's a wasp's nest.
So it is. Hand me that rock over there.
Okay.
Now we'll only have one shot, so it has to count. Are you ready?
Yep, ready.
Hey, lobsterbacks, how about some company?
Look out!
Yeah, look at him go.
Oh, we fixed them for fair, eh?
Ouch! Ah! Oh, the wasps are turning! Ah!
We best beat a hasty retreat or we'll end up as food for the wasps ourselves.
You said it! Let's get out of here!
Now, although we had great actors and exciting dialogue there, the scene still sounded kind of empty, didn't it?
It sure did.
Well, that's what sound effects are all about. They fill out the scene and make it sound real.
So, is this where you use the sound effects library?
Well, yes, but only for part of it.
Yeah, see, even though we have all of these effects right at our fingertips, almost every show has a scene in it that calls for a sound we just don't have on record or disc.
And that's when we have to actually use our fingertips and create the sounds ourselves. For instance, this scene calls for the characters to run on a dirt road, and then run through the bushes in the forest, and then jump in a lake.
Well, not all of those effects are in our library, and we certainly don't have either a dirt road or a forest in our studio.
So what do?
Well, since we don't have the real things available, we have to look for substitutes that sound like the real things.
Yeah, and sometimes those substitutes can be pretty weird. For instance, the bushes are really...
Old, used recording tape? That's incredible. What about the dirt road? Kitty litter?
Yep, we add those live effects to the ones we already have on disc, and that's how we create a scene.
Unbelievable. Let's hear the scene with the effects added.
All right.
Look up there, above the soldiers.
What?
You see it? That big white-looking thing.
Yes, so?
It's a wasp's nest.
So it is. Hand me that rock over there.
Okay.
Now we'll only have one shot, so it has to count. Are you ready?
Yep, ready.
Hey, lobsterbacks, how about some company?
Look out!
Yeah, look at him go.
Oh, we fixed them for fair, eh?
Ouch! Ah! Oh, the wasps are turning! Ah!
We best beat a hasty retreat or we'll end up as food for the wasps ourselves.
You said it! Let's get out of here! Oh, ouch! Ah, they're still coming!
There's a lake ahead. Can you swim?
No?
Ah, well, there's no time like the present to learn.
Whoa!
That was a lot better. But it still seems like something's missing.
That's because something is still missing. The music.
Music is one of the most important elements in making a scene work, because it sets the mood and adds to the emotions created by the actors and the sound effects.
Most of our music is written especially for each show by very talented composers. Once we get the recorded music back from them, we mix it together with the dialogue and the effects, and the results sound like this.
Look up there, above the soldiers.
What?
You see it? That big white-looking thing.
Yes, so?
It's a wasp's nest.
So it is. Hand me that rock over there.
Okay.
Now we'll only have one shot, so it has to count. Are you ready?
Yep, ready.
masterbacks, how about some company?
Yeah, look at him go.
Oh, we fixed them for fair, eh?
Ouch! The wasps are turning.
We'd best beat a hasty retreat or we'll end up as food for the wasps ourselves.
You said it. Let's get out of here. Ouch! They're still coming.
There's a lake ahead. Can you swim?
No?
Well, there's no time like the present to learn.
Whoa!
Well, now, don't struggle. Don't struggle. I've got you there. I have you. Now, that's it. Just move your arms and legs. Yeah, that's good. Oh, this way. That's it now. Up under the shore. Well, we've had quite an adventure. And I don't even know your name or where you're from.
I'm Erwin Springer from Odyssey.
Well, Erwin Springer from Odyssey, I thank you for saving my life.
Likewise, I'm sure. And you are?
My name is Hale. Nathan Hale.
Nathan Hale? The Nathan Hale?
Huh? You've heard of me?
Who hasn't heard of you?
That was great, guys.
Yeah, it was okay.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, but we could have added stuff to make it a lot better, I think.
Really? Like what?
Like this.
I think we better get out of here. Woo! Well, you've seen how we put a show together and how we add sound effects and music to make a scene come to life.
And we hope you had a good time on the tour today.
And don't forget to join us in your hometown for the next exciting adventure in Odyssey.